attempt. Yes, attempt anyway. That's horrifying, cool. I'm not even going to dignify that like reading it out. That's just horrifying. Also, give them FAP. That's pretty much exactly what they want. Uh, it, it does exist, and I have covered it before. But yeah, overall, this game is designed to be a skirmish game of some sort. And for those who don't know what skirmish games are, uh, skirmish games are usually they're like war games except at a smaller scale. Instead of having like hundreds of dudes on each side, it's usually just a small squad, hence the skirmish aspect. You move them around the table, usually individually rather than being like a regiment of some sort or a squad. It is one person, and you fight it out until somebody lives or dies or completes an objective of some sort. Not exactly the most complex thing in the world. However, do I know skirmish games? No, I don't. My specialty, as I have stated before, my specialty lies almost entirely in role-playing games, because there's a set of, I'd say, ideas in role-playing games which you can apply to most things. Because you have one very important factor in most role-playing games, is that you have the game master, and that makes your life infinitely easier in like 99% of your situations. You want to know why having a game master is helpful? Because you can write in any rule, and then suddenly it can be like just rely on your game master. Yes, grappling hooks. It was specifically requested that grappling hooks be included. I don't even think I have the original notes anymore, but I was pretty much handed a bunch of requirements, and this was one of the requirements. Like, grappling hooks must be involved. Uh, this wasn't just a single friend. Oh no, these were about 4 or 5 guys were throwing pretty much coins in a hat and saying, "I want this, I want this." Hence why you might notice the actual title card of this one is from Ruiner, because, and the fact that I too am, outside being a walking violation of human dignity, is just Puppy from Ruiner, because they also wanted it to be Ruiner. Yes, directly just a Ruiner game. So it's like, all right, so I have to make a Ruiner game that's lethal. It has to be lethal. That was a big idea. That must be lethal. It has to have, it's mostly gang focused. There's going to have to be a campaign element to it. Don't know how I'm going to do the campaign element yet. We're going to ignore that part over there and shove it off to the side, and grappling hooks must be involved. I don't know why they wanted grappling hooks in particular, but we have grappling hooks now, and I just have to work those in. I don't know where. But they're gonna get worked in. But yeah, this is kind of like my basic notes on it. Skirmish with a campaign. Yeah, kind of like Frostgrave. That was, or like Frostgrave, Necromunda, Mordheim. A lot of those games are kind of referred to as skirmish campaigns, where you take your warband through a series of challenges, and you're allowed to, they evolve pretty much. And that's kind of one of the main appeals of those kind of games, is that they're evolving, they're changing, and you kind of grow attached to it. Am I probably going to implement that right away? Absolutely not, because then I have to make a way that you can create an angel, and I don't even know if that's going to work. All of this shit. Oh, you think I'm getting paid for this? No, I'm not being paid for this at all. I am. I am not. Yeah, I'm not getting paid for this at all. This is literally just a. Can I do it? Yeah, of course I can, because I'm me, and I have a fucking ego. So you're doing it because you like it. I'm doing it because they said I couldn't do it. That's the reason why. I'm an incredibly petty person sometimes. And I wanted to get more, I want to get more experience with writing just skirmish rules in general, because they have a very different approach to them, which isn't like super different. It's just different enough that it's kind of throwing me for a loop. So let me do a quick check. So roughly speaking, so when starting a game of Angel 69, both actually, how do I want to word this? Because even now it's like, normally you don't have to think about it. Like, yeah, when you want to start a campaign, you need some dice, you need your players, you need this. That's just how I've always written it. With this one, you have to kind of explain things a little bit more. When starting a game of Angel 69, make sure to have a measuring tool. We'll do just like a tape measure. Tape measure is preferred. Make sure to have a tape measuring tool. A table that is, we'll say 24 by 32. 24 by 30. That is 24 by 32. So about we'll do about 2 by 3 feet. A series of tokens. Let's see, a series of tokens representing individuals. How do I end up calling them? Neural linker boosts, and a complete disregard for most of these meat bags' lives, except the ruiners. Keep them alive. Let's see. Table 24 by 32. This is actually taken from Infinity almost directly. Yeah. There's like artifacts. Yes, actually. So what I had to do, this fun fact about this, this original image has like his arm he's holding a P90 effectively, the way he's holding it, and just the angle of it would not work, so I chopped his arm off. And so I wanted to make it look like something occurred, so it's like there's sparks coming out because he got his arm ripped off. Because I'm a fucking genius. Yeah, I know that's 36. Yeah, I know it's 36. For some reason, Infinity says 32. So I'm like, is that like maybe like a wording thing that I need to consider? I guess I could just make it 36. I'm like, yeah, a table that is 24 by 36, 2 by 3 feet. A series of tokens represent Neuralink or boost and a complete disregard for most of the, and a absence of shame. There we go, a complete absence of shame. So, when starting a game of Angel 69, when starting, have 2d6 for each player, for each neural linker. A measuring tool, tape measure is preferred. A table that's 24 by 36. A series of tokens. Representing neural linker series of, I should say, two-sided tokens. Two ties representing neural linker boost and a complete absence of shame. So we're just gonna post that there. Tape measure is preferred, so okay. Oh, it looks like Coomer. See, it's doing its job then. And I specifically took the right arm off too, so don't worry. I'm on a one-way quest to get my fucking arm back. So let's see. Okay. So actually, how do I want to word this? So normally, what I would say is like when a character wants to make an action, when people want to do this, but you gotta look at it a little bit different. Okay. How do you even approach this? Play begins by rolling two. By both play begins by both neural linkers rolling 2d6 plus lead ruiner. Lead ruiners. What do we got? Hacking. Yeah, no, we can do it with hacking. I think that could work. That'd give like hacking teams a little bit of an advantage. Lead ruiners hacking skill. With both neural linkers rolling 2d6 plus lead ruiners hacking skill. The highest result will begin play. Will begin the how do I want to word this? The highest result will start the round. Let's start the round. We'll start the round. So this is just like the most basic ideas of how to play this game. Like, we just need to just get the basics in here. So you're like rolling 2d6. Whenever a, how do I want it? Character? I guess that's what you would actually no. Whenever a unit attempts an action, they will roll 2d6 plus attribute versus target's defense. So, like, yeah, anytime they want to, whenever a unit attempts an action, they will roll 2d6 plus attribute versus target's defense. It's cool now, but where's the anal circumference chart? Yeah, we ain't there yet, mate. We ain't there yet. I need to go over Fatal one day, but I have genuinely no idea how to fucking, even look over it. Burn their turn to double the value. Okay. Actually, each unit will have two actions per turn. Each unit will have 2 actions. Actually, we'll start. I can still the highest result will start the turn by activating a unit. Each unit will have 2 actions per activation. Units have alternating between both of the neural linkers. Between both of the neural linkers forces. Whenever a unit attempts an action, they will roll 2d6 plus the attribute versus target's defense. If successful, the unit will resolve its effects. If successful, the unit will resolve its effects and continue and end its turn. You want to do that? Yeah. Each neural linker has a set of boosts, which represents their connection to each of the, how do you want to word it? Units. Each of their connection to each of the units under their control. By delivering a high voltage shock directly to their brain implants, the neural linker can boost the unit quickly, granting them Delivering a high voltage... Actually, no. By delivering a... How do I want to word this? Because pretty much the idea is that you pretty much dot hack somebody's body to jerk them out of the way. Like, oh no, my guy is going to get shot. So think about it like this. The gun is out. He's going to shoot you. He pulls the trigger. Bullet is rapidly approaching. This guy cannot dodge because it's a fucking gun. I can see it because my brain is going at about 1,000 miles an hour. And I can see he's going to get shot. I can boost him. Pretty much I am boosting my own mind inside of his and jerking him out of the way real fast. He loses pretty much control of his entire body as I, assume direct control. Delivering high voltage shock directly to their neural link. Actually, their neural implants. Boost the unit, granting the allowing the linker to assume direct control for a few. See, this is why I stream. For a few, minutes. For a few seconds. Okay. Minutes. See, this is why, the big thing is, for those who don't know, I write almost everything in my notepad document here because it doesn't autocorrect me sometimes, so I can kind of just type. Because I'm the kind of person who just likes to type things out. Like, okay, I can kind of see something is wrong, or I can see like something isn't adding up without having like little red lines and all that shit. High intensity shock pulse directly to the neural implant. Can boost the unit, allowing the neural linker to assume direct control for a few seconds. Let's see. When all units have been activated, the round ends. The round ends. Any used boosts. Do I want to do? What did I end up saying for that? So Neuralink will... Okay. I don't really have that, do I? But we can probably say something along. The round ends. Any used boosts. Actually, a neural link, a boost is then restored. A boost is then restored by the from the neural link. Is then restored if it had been used. If it had been used. All ruiner boosts will be refreshed. Because pretty much the idea, what I want to get across more than anything, is, let's see. Let's go to Miro.com. Hello, Miro. I'm literally just opening you up because I want to see, because I want to draw this out, because I can see it in my head. I just want to make sure I'm not going fucking insane. So it would be like, let's say this is our ruiner. She has 3 boosts. Now I have 4 boosts. If I use 1 and she uses 3, and at the end of the round occurs, she gets all her boosts back, but I would only get my 1. So, for example, if I have 2 I've used, I'd only get 1 back. But this also comes to the fact of where... This also comes to the fact where, let me see. See, this is the beautiful thing about making my own setting and not having to accommodate anyone, is that I can do whatever the fuck I feel like. And hence why literally all of my sample ruiners I already have in my head are all just literally appealing to me and me alone. Like they are just fucking coom bait for me. Like let's see, when all units have been activated, the round ends, boost is then restored. The boost is then restored if it has been used. All ruiner boosts will be is then refreshed. If it has been used, all ruiner boosts will be refreshed as well. So this is just the absolute basics. Like, if we just want the most basic... Damn straight I do. What do you think I am, man? So... directly to... their neural implants. Boost a unit, the round ends. It's going to keep... I want... Ruiners. Consider changing to... I don't want to change it because this is... No, this is... It's going to drive me insane. So this is the most, like, the base... I should say this, the basics playing the game. Like, the absolute most minimum shit you need is right here. So... God, what's the next section that we would even have to think about? Because if we go... Do I have anything to work with here? See, this is the best part, is like I have to ask myself, like, do I actually have something to even, like, reference? Do I have any ospreys? I'm like 95% sure I should have an osprey somewhere. I know I have an osprey. Alright. Let me just, oh no! I need to, do something. Oh no, gamers! Hello everyone! I'm back, and nothing has gone wrong, and nothing has changed, but I found my Osprey book. I found it, everybody. It was right there in my folder. We're not going to question anything that just occurred now, are we? Remember that, everyone. Also, hello, Cup of Liberty. Yeah, we're not gonna question anything that occurred in those last few minutes. I've always had this. So let's actually see what the fuck is the. So we have the author, then we have the illustrators. Introduction, what you need to play. All right, I mean that's pretty standard. So actually, what you need to play. Maybe do like a what to run with, and then it's just like what you need to play, a warband, but what you need to play. Actually, what we can do is we'll call it the short list of required materials, and this is literally just going to be a short list of everything you might need. 24 by 36 table, 2d6 per player, measuring tool. We're gonna need the measuring tool. Outfit, would that be the correct term? Outfit, and actually a player neural linker outfit of 4 to let's say 8, 4 to since we're going to do alternate activations, we're probably going to do like 4 to like maybe 12. 4 to 12 models, 28 millimeter. Is that pretty much the standard? Yeah, it's pretty much the standard. We'll just do 20. We'll do 24 to 24 millimeter to 28 millimeter. 28 millimeter. We will put a note right here. Footnote. Keep these consistent. That's kind of like if you have some things you just want to fuck around with, just make sure they're 24, 28 millimeter. What else are we looking for? Tape measure, handful of 6-sided dice, counters. I'm going to say double-sided counters. Double-sided counters, we'll say probably about 8 to 10 per player. Like, actually, we'll do 6 to 10 per player. Kind of depends on what you're bringing. Shh. Not live on stream. Very different. Polish and femboys. You ever want to question the joke behind Polish femboys? There isn't really one. It's just the Polish, because they're funny. And Eastern Europeans are weird. That and technically, I believe it's the Prime Minister. There might be a different term for it. The Prime Minister of Poland has cultivated a certain fan base of femboys and right-wing femboys. It's very fascinating. Very fascinating, in fact. So let's see. Models. Okay, rank 1 models. Counters. Represent wounds. Double-sided counters to represent boost. And then we'll do single small counters or coins to represent represent wounds. Most we'll do like 12. We'll do like 10 to like do 10 to 15 per player. Like, this is just the short list. Everything you need is right here to actually play the game. And to make my life easier, we're going to do, what is it? Yeah, we're going to keep it like this, actually. Neurolinko outfit of 12, for 12 models. Basics of play. All right. I didn't steal anything. Remember that. I'm just borrowing. So we got our basic characteristics. We have our basic principles. So pretty much you don't even lead into like how to like this is how you play. This is just like an introduction, and then immediately into it. It's like these aren't actually like honest to God. It's 20 pages of just stuff. That's really all it is. It's not that much. It doesn't really need to be that much. So we do. Because, like, oh, I'm not paying for something. Taking down a communist dictatorship. I said if it's something interesting I would like to take. If you want to propose that, I have my rates. I actually should put a few pieces of scenery or designated areas of there we go. Few pieces of scenery or designated areas representing series. So pretty much if you just want to like draw like or have like a thing on the ground like on there be like this is a rock here, you can't look over it, be like yeah, okay, I understand. This makes sense. So if we do, yes, you start off strictly with so we have our basic play, so we do turn sequence, I guess now. So our basic turn sequence. Actually, no, we do characters next. So what we need to do next would be characters and no, we'll do meat on the field, units and you. There we go. So meat on the field, units. A unit is designated as an individual who is a part of the neural linkers outfit, allowing them to have direct control over them during neural linkers outfit. There are three designations for unit. There are three designations for units representing their innate abilities, and skills. There are grunts. The main bodies thrown in the field. These men and women are form the wall on which the enemy breaks themselves. Actually, form the backbone of the outfit. Elite. specialized troops designed. Specialized troops given a particular role and function within the outfit. And then ruiners, heavily augmented women who are able to use their own reserve of boosts and equipment to change the turn the tide. We should say turn the tide of a battle. They are the main leaders of the outfit. Because what I want to get across is that you are not really the head guy. You're kind of just a factor in it. You're useful, don't get me wrong. You're very useful. However, you are, how do I want to word this? Someone's bitch. You are pretty much the guy they hire to be the middle manager of all the lackeys behind them. Because a ruiner is a one-man engine of destruction, mostly women, however, and they are going to be the ones to be your hammer, as well as your anvil, and your sword, and your bow, and literally your weapon. Everyone else is kind of secondary to supporting the ruiner. You can have multiple ruiners, but I want to get the ideas that these guys are a little bit more expensive, and you're building around them. As you know, one of my example ruiners in my head was pretty much a cop. She has pretty much a fuck off deagle in which she is going to close the distance and not only pistol whip you to death if you do get too close, but she's going to put a golf ball sized hole in your head because she is very scary that way. And yes, she is a sexy cop because I can do that because it's my game. And her bonuses are all about pretty much bringing in a small elite group rather than like, here's some schlocky cops. We're not dealing with schlock cops. We're dealing with like, this is a SWAT team she's bringing in to fuck your day up. And I wanted to kind of feel like this is her kind of outfit. This is her group. You're just support. That's effectively what you are. You're just support. They are the main leaders of the outfit and can affect all units. Each unit is given a series of attributes. I could probably give it a better name, but like each unit is given a series of attributes which represent their abilities, which represent their skills, and how they will operate on the field. Actually, yeah, operate in the field. And then we go down here. And then their movement, which is the number of inches able to move. We have your melee combat skill, you have your ballistic skill, you have your hacking skill, body, agility, firewall, and then wounds. So we should say is if a unit does not have if a unit has a X in their attribute, they are unable to use it by either a low amount of training, inability, or simply being useless when using it. Because, all right. So what does, we take this, this is our, we're just going to put you right here. What does a standard character look like? So we have to have a move. We have move, com, BLS, HCK, period, bod, agi, firewall. And then actually what we're going to do is probably do move and wounds. So let's just do a basic, like, I don't know, corporate grunt. Yeah, let's just do corporate grunt. That's all we're doing. Nothing too exciting here. Corporate grunt, and he's going to have so he's going to have like a he's going to have, let's say, a close combat skill. He's probably going to have like a 1 ballistic skill of like 1. Actually, yeah, he's gonna have like a 1/1. He's gonna have nothing in hacking because he can't hack. He's going to have, let's say, 2d6 has an average of 7, so maybe he's going to have like an average. We just do like an average, like let's say he's going to have like an 8 there. He's going to have a 7 there. Firewall, he's going to have a really low firewall. Pretty much is, if you can hack it, you can do it. Oh God, what's standard movement? Infinity bases, base size, movement, actually infinity unit cards. You have like a unit card or something I can just look at. That's all I want to do. I just want to look at the unit profile. So how far can you move? Tell me. These are like, you have like a specific movement? Well, when in doubt, let's look at our new Osprey book here that I've always had. So let's see, move distances. So 2, 3, 4, 6. Actually, 4, 6, 8. So about 6 inches is pretty average. So yeah, we want, if we use 6 as base, as kind of like an average. So 6 inches, and you're going to have 1 wound. The idea is that grunts are going to go down in like 5 seconds. Because that's the one thing you want. You want to make sure that your the grunts are useless. They are not supposed to be strong because they're corporate shitheads. But let's do like let's do like a corporate sniper. His ballistic score is going to be a lot higher, but he still has no hacking. He's going to have a lower defense, but his agility is going to be also lower because he's a fucking sniper. Pretty standard there. He's going to have a little higher movement, and he's going to have 3 wounds. Still very little, but he's gonna last a little bit longer than a standard corporate grunt. Now we do. This is just a sample one. This is just me kind of putting that here. What would be a good one? We will go with oh no, we'll call her Sheila Wright, Ruiner. Because we want to get across the fact that she is going to be a heavily aggressive Ruiner. She can move 8 inches. She's going to have, let's say 9 wounds. She can move pretty fast. She has a pretty good defense, and she has a pretty good agility. That's her entire thing. Her firewall is going to be a little bit higher, but still not flawless, because again, she doesn't really care. Her ballistic skill is going to be a bit higher, and her close combat's also going to be a bit higher. So this is what a standard Ruiner might look like versus a corporate sniper and a corporate grunt, just stat-wise. So you can just have it down. This is what they do. But the idea is you're going to have traits, and you're going to have a bunch of other things on it. So let's see. If I want to do... If Sheila Wright wanted to, let's say, punch that... Like in most corporate... Like, she's going to be able to hit the corporate sniper right away. But let's say you have a 8 and you have a 4. So Sheila needs to roll 2d6, and she rolled a 6 and a 1. She rolled 7. She adds her close combat. That makes it 11. versus this guy's the bod skill. Boss bod versus the bod skill, and congratulations, she's hit and she's done a number of wounds equal to her weapon. Now, most of the time, weapons are going to do a decent amount of wounds. I want them to do like 2, 3. And if you're paying attention, it's the idea that you can die very quickly if you're out of position. So you want to put into chat experience. Oh god. Welcome to the chat room. Welcome to the chat room. Yeah, that happens. That happens sometimes. Sometimes restarting Twitch helps. Well, let's see. So we've got our basic stats. So basic stats. Or if a unit has X in the attribute, each unit is given a series of attributes which represent their skills and they operate in the field. But, you know, so she's got this. Actually, no, we want to move movement down here. Same with you all. Control Shift 8, and then we do, which we can roughly say, here's all your basic ones, here's all of these, and by using inability simply being useless when attempting it. BLS and HCK are used as the offensive attributes. While Agi, Bod, and Firewall are used as the defensive attributes. Should a unit reach 0 wounds, they are considered to be downed. They are considered to be downed and unable to continue. I guess we can actually add like a savior mechanic in there, because again, you're not going to have much, but that doesn't, because you're not going to have much, you're still going to have something though, because you're still going to have something. Going to annoy somebody that these are technically out of order. Annoy me up here, I just realized that. Okay, so we established what units look like. We've established what this looks like. Because now we know what units look like. We know how the game is roughly played, you know, the basics, and then you have the short list. So the next logical step would be the turn sequence, right? Yeah, that would be like the next logical thing to think about. Thank you so much, Mr. Craig. Let's see. Yeah, okay. All right. Twitch is Twitch. Like, it's kind of a disaster area, but it's my disaster area. How do I want to word this? So, let's see. We use... So actually, so what we do now is blood on sidewalks. Actually, blood on the city. Blood in the city, and we'll do how combat is actually I would say because it wouldn't be combat, because that's what the most of the game is going to be built around. It's going to be like we'll call this the turn sequence for right now. Oh, okay, so turn sequence. When a neural linker. Actually, blood on the city. We'll call it combat. We'll do when a neural linker. So what we actually have when a neural linker is able to activate a unit. When a neural linker is ready to activate a unit, they will choose any unit which has not already acted during that round. Selecting when the unit has been selected, they are able to perform two sets of actions. Quick actions, call them quick actions, and standard actions. So, what's a quick action? If we go here, it's like during the move phase. So maybe something like actions, quick actions, and standard actions. So quick actions and standard actions. Quick action, no. We'll do move actions and standard actions. So what do we want to do during move actions? So move actions, this is just kind of a list of shit we need to do. We need to be able to move a unit. We need to be able to defend a unit, unless we want to say fuck it. Okay. So the move, we'll do the move actions and standard actions. So move actions are literally going to be kind of setup actions more than anything. So we're going to have our standard, move, which is going to be move up to MOV value for the unit. Which we can do the aim, gain a +1 to BLS checks, which we can do a scramble. No, fuck. Because I want to make this fast. The idea is make this fast, make this deadly. If we want to make this fast, characters are going to need to move fast, but how do we reward that? We reward that by not making them want to stand still, because you always want to keep moving. Because if the entire idea is that the game is supposed to be keep moving, and you are going to be this kinetic force of nature, you need to add a what am I seeing here? I can see it. I activate my unit. I'm going to move them up. I'm going to take a shot at you. That's my action. Unless you say I'm going to move maybe like I want to move, take my shot, and maybe, or we just say fuck it to the move and just like you just are going to move. Actually, I know what we can do there. Speak and I shall answer your question, any question. Yeah. I've always said that. Like, if anyone ever wants to ask any question, I will answer it to the best of my ability. Embarrassing masturbation story. I was going to town one day, having a good time. Life was great. My fucking mom called halfway through, and like, there's no stopping at some point. There comes a point where there's no fucking stopping, and I couldn't not take the phone call because and so it's like, picture being on the phone with your fucking mother, and it's like, God, this is the worst possible situation I've ever had. I'm like, yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, no, thanks, mom, bye, and just dying. It was the worst experience I've ever had. Amusing as all hell, mind you, but awful. See, I'm pretty. The thing is, like, I'm pretty PG when it comes to most things. Like, I'm a good Christian. I'm a good Catholic boy at this rate. I just make Coomer games because that's what people want. Because actually, I move up to. So if we let's see. If we do a standard move, a full movement. We could do a caution move, I guess. Have you ever gotten drunk off the communion wine? No, I have not. So if you do a caution move, which is going to be half rounded, it's going to be half movement, plus one BLS, -2 agi though. Actually, we'll do +1 BSS for -1 agi. So it's kind of the idea of like you're cautionately moving up. Like, instead of like making like a decent movement, you're like not really fighting at all. Guess we need tokens for that then. I guess that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Or we just say fuck it and just like able to perform 2 sets of actions, the move action, and a standard action. Do you actually play games? Yes, I do. I am actually in a game right now, which I'm going to be playing tomorrow, actually, which I'm kind of excited for. We're playing a game. We're playing Flying Swordsman. It's an OSR game. My friend's running it. It's his first actual game he's been running. Which he's done pretty good. He's done really good, actually. I think he kind of got stuck on some certain plot elements, and he wanted us to make our characters separately because he wanted that to be part of the plot. We just really didn't engage with that part, and our characters are a little bit too separate. So it's beginner GM things, TM. But yeah, no, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, actually. Probably after his campaign's done, I'm going to be running something. They don't know what they want yet. I have a few ideas of what I'm thinking about running. I'm feeling mechs, but I don't really know what to run in that regard. I'll probably really run one of mine. Oh god, this isn't going to be good. Now let's see, the move action and a standard action. So the move action. There is not many mech games. And I actually went over this in the Curious Case of Mecha RPGs. The problem with mechs is because there's one set of games. It's the Battle Century Z and the like Mech-Ton and stuff like that. There's a few games that have dominated the fucking market for mech games, and It's kind of that GURPS argument over and over again with like, oh, I want to make a mech game. Why don't you just run it in Battle Century Z? Or hey, I want to run an Evangelion. Why don't you just run it in Ad Ava or something? Which that's its own kind of mess. Actually, that reminds me. Speaking about things like that, let's actually check what the curious cases are for next month are going to be. Oh boy, everybody, let's check. Yep, nothing has changed in that regard. So it looks like we have the curious case of JTRPGs 2, 3 actually, and the Rootin' Tootin' case. These are Japanese games. No, Battle Century Z is let me see. They just reminded me of that for some reason. Battle Century Z is actually a fairly old game at this point. It's do we have a Battle Century? It's Battle Century G. There we go. That's what it is. But yeah, like this is a very old series of games. You get the like, yeah, very old series of games. God, who was the one? Artelana shown it. Cyberpunk Company. Cyberpunk RPG. There we go. If we just Google the Cyberpunk RPG, it'll show it up because it's Talshorian. Yeah, Mike Pondsmith is a very where was it that he did? He did where was it? No, you lied to me. Because yeah, Mike Pondsmith is a genius. Remember that. Just understand that Mike Pondsmith is a complete fucking genius. The problem is Mike Pondsmith is a terrible, terrible, terrible businessman. And he cannot help but get fucked over. Mechton, that was it. Mechton came out a long ass time ago. Yeah, this is Mechton, by the way. Which came out in 1985, mind you. Yeah, Mechton is an older series of games by Mike Pondsmith. Man who cannot catch a break. Mechton Zero has never come out yet. People have requested that I possibly go in there and see what I can do to make Mechton Zero work, just because I'm stupid enough to attempt it. But yeah, like Mechton's fascinating, but it's also very good. It's an older series. That's the thing. Like Mechton's it's an older series, and there's a few other kind of mech games out there. Actually, I have my mech game folder right here. Let's see. There is Mechton. Yeah, Mechton's usually the big one. Let's see. Do I have any other ones? Like there are like quite a few mech games. The problem is like they either end up very crunchy, and I mean absurdly crunchy, or they end up not much. If that makes sense. You end up with shit like Bliss Stage. And Bliss Stage is barely a game. No, like Lancer and Mech Warrior. See, the thing is, like, I would say, like, Western mechs are not actually that popular on the table. There's a few reasons. Even Lancer's barely a fucking Western mech game, but I also fucking hate Lancer and think Tom's an idiot. But like Mech Warrior keeps getting passed around like a fucking used fucking whore at this point. Let's see. Like Gundam is weird. Like here's the thing with Gundam. Gundam is by Sunrise, and Sunrise does like its money, and they've kind of been milking Gundam for years, and people like the overly dramatic stories and the war is bad, but let's drop a colony on someone. It's Gundam is this grand, it's a fucking space opera with mechs in it, like at the end of the day. I have an entire thing on Lancer. I'm not a fan of Lancer. But Tom is also a fucking goblin and does not deserve, most anything. So let's see, we can do the move action. Exactly. Gundam is like, oh no, we have these dramatic opera-esque moments, and then everybody is fucking teenagers and acting like dumbasses. It's an odd thing. Because I'm a tragic soul. My preferred mecha, I like big stompy diesel guzzlers. Like when that RTS came out about a year or two, about a year ago now, isn't it? Um the 1920s it never was. I could see it. Iron Harvest. Yeah, when Iron Harvest came out, I'm like, ugh, my body is ready. Yeah, that didn't really sell me. That I was like, it's Company of Heroes too. Nice. Cool. Poggers. Poggers. Let's see the move action. When a unit is activated, they have the option to move. When they have the option to move up to their MOV, their movement value. Their movement value. How do we measure? How do we measure properly? This always sounds ridiculous, but you also kind of need to have these because the second you don't, things are going to get wonky. And when things get wonky, people get mad. Okay, so maybe we do. Move up to their move. Let's see. When units activated, they have the option to move up to their move value in inches, starting from the base and measuring the full length, and then see. Now I have to ask myself, and I'm probably gonna have to bully some people for this. Is let's say this is our model, and let's say we have to move like 5 inches. So if I move out this way, does the model end here? Or if we circle that, does the model end here? So is it at the tip of the base, or is it the back of the base? I'm gonna I'm literally going to put, this, moving the full length, I'm going to put an actual note here, which is just going to be developer note, ask around for we're going to say full base movement, or tip base movement. Which is preferred? I'm literally just going to ask, like, which is preferred? Because most of the actual skirmish games and skirmish game adjacent games I've actually played have been grid based. Actually, there's like you move 5 spaces and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the kind of games that I play primarily, and that's the only other skirmish game I've ever really written was built to be played on a grid, specifically a hex board. So it's moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot easier for me in my mind to kind of comprehend because 5 spaces is 5 spaces. There's nothing you can really do to change that. It's not 5 inches because 5 inches changes some things. So I'll ask around, measuring the full length, movement. The unit may decide to instead hunker down, which they will not make any movement. They will not make any movement, but gain a +1 to all of their defense attributes. So pretty much you can just not move, put yourself there, and the idea behind hunkering down is going to be when you enter this particular situation of, let's say for example, like let's say like here's this, And we're gonna draw this out. And you are right here. And you are fighting someone over here. You do not want to leave your cover. You don't want to leave this cover. So you're just going to hunker down and you're just going to gain this. Because that's what you want to do. You're not stupid. You don't want to leave cover. They don't want to really push up. So you're kind of, what I want to do, like at the end of the day, what I would like to do is to discourage events like these. Discourage, kind of like these back and forth. Everyone just jumps into cover and just starts blasting each other from across distances. That's one thing I kind of want to avoid, which is the idea behind, things like ruiners showing up. Because a ruiner is going to be able to go zip, zap, blow your head off, zip, zap, zip, zap. Like staying in cover is a bad thing, but if you do stay in cover, you're going to hunker down. Like prolonged engagements in a single area are not actually that good for your health. But then again, being in a gunfight, again, if you ever want to not get shot, don't be in a gunfight. That's like rule number 1. Which the unit, I should say, which the unit will not make any movement, but gain a +1 to all their defense attributes. So yeah, you either are going to move or you're going to hunker down. Those are your two options. Actually, I should say is certain units may also have other. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. And then we're going to do standard actions. Standard actions. Actually, so the move action, which is going to be full movement. The unit moves up to their move value in inches. Starting from the base and measuring the full length. And measuring the full length. Units can zigzag by using their movement for turns and how do I want to word this? For turns and repositions. Because with that, the idea is, let's say I can move, 4 of these little spaces. So I can go, instead of just having to move 4 spaces up, you could do, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you can do this kind of movement. Be like, oh, I want to move 3 inches this way and 1 inch this way. Just like, so I'm behind cover or something. It's kind of that idea. You just have to follow the base. So this is why I'm a little bit like, I don't really know how I want to do this. Because if we use this, if you use the first method, you can go there, and then you move there, and then you're here. However, if you use the second version, which is tip-based movement, technically you would be here, and you wouldn't really be able to do that. Like, this looks like a really awkward thing to do, so I'm gonna ask and see what's the consensus on that by people who play a lot of inch-based war games. Because I don't do that. What time it is? 9:45. Fuck me. Let's see. Standard actions. And then we're going to do full movement. And then we're going to do hunker down. The unit hunkers down. Hunkers down. Hunkers down. Holds. Let's see. The unit holds position. And they gain a +1 to all defense attributes. Unit holds position, and they gain a +1 to all defense attributes. That's it. So you're either moving, or you're hunkering down, or you're using. We'll just call it an ability. The unit uses an ability. Yeah. Let's see. The unit uses an ability. And then the idea would be do that, blood in the city, then we do the move action, which the idea is full movement, hunker down, ability. Yeah, I'm not really making these look the best, but it's more like these are just raw getting words on paper right now. Let's see, units can zigzag by using their... And then we do like a side note. So we do... See, normally I would do a side note because, again, you can assume a lot of things, but we can do... move order. Tell me, give me a move order. So yeah, special. So yeah, here's like this massive move option. Here's already all these. So brain. Plus you give each one it's like a lot of detail with it. Ah! Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a side note here, which is going to be vertical movement. If a unit wishes to go vertical, they may spend in actually which is to go vertical. Fuck. Okay, you know what I'm going to call it here for today. You want to know what I'm going to call it here for today? Because I need to do more research. I literally just need to do more fucking research on these games to make sure that they actually goddamn work. This is the most frustrating stuff ever. Because I can see what I want to do, but it's like, okay, how do I actually word this? I'm in uncharted territory here, folks. So thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Godspeed, good luck,